Do you want to learn how to quit your job and travel the world? 2 years ago, that's exactly what I did. And in this episode, I'm going to go over my top 10 best tips to do it and do it successfully. And if you're extra nice and stay to the end, or just skip, I'll go over one extra bonus tip that'll help you save a bunch of money while traveling. Intro. Hi, I'm Joel Smith, and at 6 to 12, I hope to inspire you to travel more, work anywhere, and just enjoy life. So with no further ado, let's get into it today. All right guys, number 10 on the list. The first thing I would recommend doing is find a source of income. Find something that you can do working online, getting paid so that you can travel but still work remotely. There's so many different things that you can do online. Next episode, I am actually going to explain a few different options that I've found. Number nine. You know, it's all about the little details. First thing you want to do is you want to look into your bank accounts. What kind of bank account do you have? What do they require for you to not have to pay those fees? I had a bad experience where I had direct deposit. I was swiping my card more than 15 times a month and meeting the requirements to not get charged. I left the country, I left the US, and I stopped getting direct deposit. I stopped using the card. All of a sudden they started charging me that $15 a month fee. One thing led to another. I'm in default. Then it got sent to collections. I'm not even in the country to deal with it. So very important, guys, make sure that your bank account is set up to not charge you while you're gone, or know that it's gonna charge you, and maybe even close it out. Along with that, I also wanna talk about PayPal. A lot of online gigs are gonna pay you through PayPal. So make sure that you have a PayPal set up. Number 8. So this kind of goes right along with that. Look into reoccurring accounts, guys. Some reoccurring accounts are really good to have, and some reoccurring accounts aren't so good. Pandora, Netflix, things like that. Make sure you can use it in the country you go to. If you can't, close it out, cancel that subscription. Some of the good subscriptions to have, my favorite one right now is Skype. For $2.99, I can make unlimited calls to cell phones, landlines, anything in the US. And just with the few customer service issues I've had to deal with banks or my cell phone company and things like that, it's been really, really nice having that unlimited calls for just $3 a month. Number 7, travel light. If you're gonna be traveling long-term, there's not that many things you need. And a lot of the things that you're gonna use in your daily life, it's just cheaper to buy it in these developing countries because it's so affordable anyways. That's why we're doing this, or that's why I'm doing it at least, to stretch the dollars. Really just the clothes for the season that you're going to. And keep in mind that clothes are super, super cheap. I bought this shirt. Actually, no, my friend gave me this shirt. Thank you, Josh. You can buy shirts for anywhere from like $3 to $7. Travel really light. And you know, a lot of those bigger things you can either sell, give away, or put in storage, hopefully in a friend's house, because paying for storage is no fun. Which brings us actually to number 6, electronics. When it comes to traveling, you have to look at the electricity for each country and the voltage that your electronics have. Now, cool thing is most of our daily use electronics, like a cell phone, a computer, or like a laptop, things like that, have already built in adapters and transformers. So look at the plug, it should say it on the label. But then other daily things like a shaver, electric razor, or a hair curler straightener, something like that, usually doesn't have that built in. Some do, but most of them don't. If you're gonna travel with that, make sure you have an adapter, or if you need it, in some cases, even a transformer. There's a big difference between the two. So make sure you read up on that for your electronics. And again, most electronics, like what I use to shave my face or trim my beard, I just buy new in every country. Travel light and check your electronics, guys. Don't plug things in without reading the labels first. Number 5 on the list is cell phones. So I have a few different tips for this. I love having a cell phone. I love having data anywhere I go, not only so that I can upload stories on Instagram, Snapchat, and pictures and things like that, but also so that I can be always available for my online businesses and just maps alone. I love, being able to look and see where I can go and explore and do things on my own. Check with your provider in your home country. In the US, most of the big brand names like AT&T or Sprint or T-Mobile, all of these come with blocked cell phones, meaning until the cell phone is completely paid off and it's yours, you can't use it with other SIM cards. Even if you've paid it, you have to call them usually and get an unblocked number. It's really easy to do once you've paid it off. Verizon, fortunately, comes unblocked. So even if you're making payments on it like I am, it's open to be used anywhere in the world, which is really convenient. So pay off your cell phone or have Verizon or buy a new cell phone exclusively just for travel. Make sure that it's unblocked so you can use it in any country. After that, you want to buy a SIM card. A lot of times they have 1 week or 2 week SIM cards, depending how long you're traveling for. That's great. In countries I live in, I like to buy the cheapest loadable SIM card I can get. For very cheap, I can have all the 4G I need, and I highly recommend getting a SIM card in every country you visit. Should have brought some water, I'm so thirsty. Number 4, passport. So you have to have at least 6 months left before it expires. I don't know why. Basically, it expires at 6 months. So if you don't have at least 6 months left on your passport, make sure you get a new one. It's really easy to do. You can actually do it in 1 day if you go to the right location, or you can do it by mail or post office. Takes a few weeks. It all depends on how quickly you want to leave. But make sure you have at least more than 6 months on that passport, or the countries won't let you in when you arrive and you'll get shipped back. I have friends that this has actually happened to, so be careful. Number 3, make sure you check your visas. A lot of countries will give you a visa upon arrival for a tourist visa. And unfortunately, I learned the hard way that you want to always check with the official embassy website for that information. When I first went to the Philippines, I looked in Google, and the first thing that popped up, it wasn't an ad, just the first, and it pops up bigger. It's like the one that's most recognized by Google and trusted, said 3-month visa in the Philippines. And after about almost 2 months of being in the Philippines, I went to Bali on my first vacation, and lo and behold, I had actually overstayed more than, I think it was 40 days on my visa, because it was only a 30-day upon arrival. So I learned to always look at those official websites. And then the second little trick is when you actually get a stamp, it's not just a cool stamp that says the name of the country. It actually says when you arrived and when you're supposed to leave by. So if you need double verification when you arrive at a country after they stamp it at the customs, make sure you look at it and it says exit by such and such date. Most countries have a fine per day if you overstay, so do that research, guys. Number 2 on the list. Depending what kind of person you are, it's probably either the first thing you thought about or the last thing you're gonna think about. On my case, it was the last thing. So it's traveler's insurance. Some insurance providers will already cover it. Make sure you check with them. Some don't, and you wanna get your own insurance for traveling specifically. I didn't have it, and I learned the hard way. In Bali, I got really dehydrated. I ended up throwing up for like 24 hours, and I had to end up going to the emergency room. They put me on IV, they gave me a little medication, held me overnight, let me go, and my bill was $1,000. I learned the hard way to get traveler's insurance, and my friends that have had it and have been in accidents have been taken care of very well, and there's very, very good hospitals out here. So the better insurance you have, the better medical care you'll receive. Number 1 on the list. Just do it. It sounds super cliche, but there's nothing more real to it. You know, we always are so good at making excuses on why it's not the right time, and my job or my bills or whatever the reason may be, we come up with excuses. I stopped coming up with excuses, and it's been the best 2 years of my life. Stop making excuses. If you have any questions on how to overcome those excuses, let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to help you. I do have one question for you. If you could leave your country right now and go anywhere in the world, where would it be? Anyways, thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoy. Up next, if you guys watch my next video, I'm actually gonna be giving my top 10 online jobs and different things that you can do to generate income remotely while traveling the world. So, oh, really quick, the bonus tip, guys. So, it kind of goes with the cell phone. When you go to an airport in most developing countries, if anybody approaches you saying taxi, taxi, usually don't take it. Most countries will have a designated line where official taxis come in. They don't try and rip you off if you go to the official line. Don't let people just approach you. And along with that, once you have cell phone data, you can download Grab, like Uber and Lyft, and basically see how much it would cost you to go to your destination, to make sure that if somebody does offer you a flat rate, you know exactly how much it is. And do that everywhere you go. So before you take a taxi, make sure you know about how much Grab, Lyft, or Uber would charge you. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Please, if you like this, subscribe, share with your friends, and most importantly, guys, hit the bell for notifications for my next episodes.